Hello, my name is Kerri Morse. I'm the Adult Services Coordinator with the Els for Autism Foundation. Before joining the Els for Autism Foundation, I was a special education teacher in Broward for 9 years, where I primarily worked with students in a self-contained, community-based vocational and independent living transition program. I worked for 5 years with the Dan Marino Foundation as a program director and case manager of the STEPS program, which is an after-school and summer supportive job training program for transitioned aged youth and young adults. I also helped launch Dan Marino Foundation's Marino Campus, a private post-secondary school offering vocational certification programs to young adults with disabilities. In the meantime, I've been working towards my doctorate degree in exceptional student education at Florida Atlantic University, and have taught a few courses in the department and served as a university supervisor for ESE practicum students. Today we're going to talk about using an iPad to increase task performance. We're going to go over assistive technology, AT, and the rationale for using it in your classroom, group, or at home. We're also going to review how today's technology has a universal design for learning, or UDL. I'd then like you to think about how you can use video-based interventions with your students, clients, or family members, and specifically, how can you use the Picture Scheduler application on an iPad? I'll refer to a study that I'm conducting as part of my dissertation with teens and young adults using vocational or independent living tasks. Many of you are teachers, therapists, family members, or support personnel. Although I may refer to this intervention being used with adults in vocational settings, the intervention can really be used for individuals of all ages across settings. We know everyone loves using iPads, but why should we use them in vocational settings? It's important to measure 4 outcomes. First, we want to make sure our students are performing their job up to industry standards. In the workplace, you have a job description that gives an outline of required tasks. Your employer is expecting the task to be completed, adhering to an industry standard. Some tasks may have a very specific protocol in the way that they're performed, and some tasks can be completed in different ways, as long as they're complete. For example, when you go to Subway, employees are trained to specifically build a sandwich in a certain order: the bread, the meat, the vegetables, and the condiments. We're going to talk today about another task that is both process and order specific. Second, young adults with disabilities need support to learn a job and sometimes need support to keep their job. Job coaches or employment specialists have traditionally worked with new employees to help them learn both hard skills and soft skills. Let's see if we can use an iPad to reduce prompting needed from a job coach or therapist. Third, we don't want students and clients to learn a task for a limited time. We'd like them to be able to maintain the skill. Can we train them to use the iPad and then they will continuously use it independently? And lastly, once we teach them how to use the iPad for stocking shelves, say in the paint department at Home Depot, can we then load new videos into the app and ask them to stock shelves in the garden department? This would be generalization. What is the rationale for using assistive technology? We're first going to take a look at how assistive technology increases self-determination and self-esteem. I'm sure you've seen how using technology, specifically devices like iPads, levels the playing field for children and young adults with disabilities. Our students and clients feel proud that they can use technology in order to accomplish the same tasks they see their friends or coworkers doing. Imagine if you went to work every day and you had to bring your mom with you in order to do your job. How would you feel? How would your coworkers treat you? Would your coworkers invite you to happy hour or offer to take you to lunch? You'd probably start feeling pretty isolated. Assistive technology can help employers and coworkers view their employees as one of the group. Back in the day when special educators and therapists talked about assistive technology, the first thing that came to mind were those devices that were thousands of dollars, so clunky, no one knew how to use them except the assistive technology specialist, and she only or he only came to the school about once every 2 weeks, if that. Today, iPads cost a few $100s and smartphones even less. Apps are sometimes even free. With apps, the device can be used as an all-in-one assistive technology tool. What child or adult doesn't want to use an iPad, especially when you give them the option of using the iPad instead of receiving instruction from a teacher or a therapist? We talk about how using technology can lower the costs of a job coach. The problem with supporting young adults on the job is expense. Although many job coaches are not getting paid what they should, they put in many hours on a job site working one-on-one to ensure their student or client is successful. Let's say you're a job coach and you've been assigned to assist a client that just got a job at Home Depot. What hard skills are needed? What soft skills are needed? How many hours will that take? If you got paid $20 an hour, how much money does that cost? We can use an iPad to train the hard skills. Then we may be able to lower our costs and serve more clients. The definition of assistive technology is any item, piece of equipment, or product system used to increase or maintain the functional capabilities of a person with a disability. It makes sense that an iPad can be used as assistive technology, but there are so many tools that teachers and therapists use on a daily basis that fall under the AT umbrella. On the next 3 slides, I've included examples of high, mid, and low-tech tools compiled by the Boston Public Schools Access Technology Center. Take a look at the list on each slide and find a tool you already use or would consider using with one of your students, clients, or at home. Here's a list of high-tech assistive technology tools. Take a look and think of which tools could benefit your classroom, group, or at home. Here's a list of mid-tech assistive technology tools. Take a look and think of which tools could be beneficial in your classroom, group, or at home. Lastly, here's a list of low-tech assistive technology tools. Take a look and think of which tools could be beneficial in your classroom, group, or at home. In order to eliminate those barriers, there is now a focus on UDL, or the Universal Design for Learning. According to the Center on Disability and Community Inclusion at the University of Vermont, UDL is defined as a methodology to help meet the challenge of diversity. Instructional delivery and materials need to be flexible across users. This simplicity and flexibility must be incorporated into the original design of the product, which then lowers the cost of the product, and it increases consumer productivity for a large number of users. When we think of flexible and user-friendly technology, which multi-billion-dollar company comes to your mind? Did you answer Apple? Check out the article in Time Magazine, 6 Reasons Why Apple is Successful. Easy to use and keep things simple are numbers 2 and 3 on the list. Children at a very young age become pros with using technology. Our culture has flooded their brains with media as one of the largest modalities for learning. YouTube is the world's most popular online video site, with users watching 4 billion hours worth of video each month, uploading 72 hours of video every minute. The next slide will play a video to demonstrate how millions of people, both children and adults, have accessed YouTube as a video-based learning tool. In addition to video modeling, video-based interventions can include video feedback, interactive video instruction, and video self-modeling. Video-based interventions have been shown to standardize training by removing the human element. Studies have also demonstrated faster skill acquisition and generalization of skills to untrained settings. Video-based interventions have been widely used to improve social interactions, language and communication, functional skills, and compliant behaviors. Now let's take a look at how video-based interventions have been used to increase task performance within employment settings. Using technology to reduce staff support time and increase worker independence has been a focus of research since the Technology-Related Assistance for Individuals with Disabilities Act of 1988. As I mentioned before, technology has become more portable, less expensive, less obtrusive, becoming a viable option for all persons with disabilities in the workplace. With the increase in technology, more research investigating its applicability for people with disabilities has followed. In 2 investigations, an IBM PC-110 portable palm-top computer was used to increase task completion and decrease a latency response for 6 adults working in a warehouse. A box was built around the computer called a VICAID system to provide a user-friendly visual prompting device along with a tactile prompting system. The system included a radio communication system and a single large key used to advance each task. Each task was represented by a hand-drawn image on the screen, along with a corresponding pre-recorded audio message. In addition to the VICAID system, 2 loudspeakers were set up, and the participant wore a small speaker device with headphones, along with a vibrating portable pager worn on his belt or in his pocket. While the results of this study demonstrated that computer-aided systems were efficient in enabling participants to work and perform tasks with a high degree of accuracy, the VICAID system was not portable, obtrusive to use in the workplace, and required intensive setup and support time, like building the VICAID system, creating drawings, scanning those drawings onto a computer, setting up audio system, and vibrating pager system. Later, from 2002 to 2005, Davies and colleagues field-tested 2 different software programs using palm-top computers. Digital pictures of job tasks were taken with a camera, sequenced and linked with audio cues on a desktop computer, and downloaded onto the palm-top computer. Palm-top computers were portable and commercially available, yet the software programs were specifically designed for people with disabilities. Setup time was required to take the photos, load them onto a computer with audio clips, and then program them into the portable device. In 2007 and 2009, Van Laarhoven and colleagues used a video iPod and commercially available video editing software Pinnacle Studio 10 to increase independent work performance at an animal shelter. In this study, video files were captured with a digital video camera, edited using the Pinnacle Studio software, and uploaded to playlists with iTunes. This study was the first to use a portable device designed for the general population along with universally designed software. The study, however, still required setup time to video record movies, edit the movies into clips, and download edited clips into the device. In summary, technology has advanced in 4 significant ways since the passage of the Technology-Related Assistance for Individuals with Disabilities Act of 1988, having a direct impact on usability for people with disabilities. 1. The cost of devices and software have decreased due to the increase in commercially available products. 2. Independent device navigation has increased due to simplicity of user interfaces. 3. Portability has become the standard in device design. 4. Multimedia devices have enabled individuals to record, edit, and play media within the same device. Rather than using a camera to record photos, video, and audio, a desktop computer with software to edit the video clips, and a portable device to play the media, devices are now capable of performing all 3 tasks. Picture Scheduler is a task organizer application designed for people with disabilities and meets universal design standards. The application is designed to be compatible with iPad, iPod Touch, and iPad devices. For $2.99, users can create visual tasks with attached audio, video, pictures, and alarms. Alarms can be repeated daily, weekly, or monthly. Tasks can be organized into categories like work, school, or home, and each category can be supplemented with an attached picture. Videos can be recorded and uploaded into the app with the same device. Users can send categories or tasks wirelessly to other devices using Wi-Fi capabilities. Let's take a look at a demonstration video of the app. The app was originally created with help from a special education professor, Dr. Tony Van Laarhoven, at Northern Illinois University in collaboration with an app developer, Peter Jankuj. Together, their aim was to help people with disabilities organize and learn personal tasks. I've found this app to be the only age-appropriate app that allows adults and support individuals to upload their own media in order to complete tasks independently. In addition, the features of the app allow users to have both visual and auditory supports in order to complete a task. Let's take a look at one example of how Picture Scheduler can be used to increase task performance and independence. We asked 4 young adults to make smoothies using the Picture Scheduler application. In this example, 4 smoothies were designed to each have 10 steps. Each step was recorded as a separate video that was 1 minute or less. Participants enjoyed using the app and showed an interest in completing the task in order to drink the smoothie or give their smoothie to a friend. Making a smoothie can either be categorized as a vocational or independent living skill. Let's think about how you could use Picture Scheduler in your classroom or session. Think of a way to use the app in order to increase skill performance and independence while decreasing staff prompts. Please keep your notes on hand ready to use for the quiz at the end of the presentation. First, describe the task. Second, list the steps required to complete the activity. In other words, develop a task analysis. And third, create a brief narrative for each step, serving as the verbal script for each video. Before we start using Picture Scheduler, we need to make sure participants have certain skills. Participants need to understand how to navigate the iPad device. In my experience, even those who didn't own an iPad had no problem navigating the iPad. Second, you want to ensure participants can identify all the materials used in the task. Third, you want to be sure participants can physically perform the task, especially those with lifting or those involving fine or gross motor skills. Here's a brief explanation of how you can measure independent device navigation. Go through each navigation skill and mark the prompt used for each task, from independent to physical prompt. You can use a data sheet like the one displayed. Participants will likely be familiar with turning on or off the device, but may need prompting in navigating tasks within the app. When evaluating materials identification, create a list of the materials used in the task. Ask the student to identify each item. When making smoothies, the participants were asked, "Show me the cocoa powder." Many were not familiar with items such as cocoa powder or oatmeal, and multiple sessions were needed in order for the participants to identify all items correctly. The last skill you need to measure is dexterity. Do users have the motor skills required to perform the task? Making smoothies requires someone to twist the caps off of milk or juice, carry heavy containers from the refrigerator to the counter, and utilize 2 hands when pouring contents into a measuring cup. It's important to create accommodations with materials if needed. After you've completed the skill assessment, so we said the independent device navigation, the materials identification, and dexterity, you are ready to start using the iPad with your student, client, or someone at home. In education, an intervention is a specific set of steps used with a student in order to address an area of need. In this scenario, the student needs to increase independent task performance. The intervention we'll discuss is using videos on an iPad app to make a strawberry banana smoothie. Each step of the task has a corresponding picture and video. When ready to begin, the teacher will say, "I'm going to teach you how to make a smoothie following directions on an iPad. I want you to watch videos to learn how to complete each step. Watch each video very carefully and try to complete each step exactly like me in the video. After you complete the first step," as the teacher's pointing to the step on the iPad, "you can go on to watch the second video," as the teacher points to the second step on the iPad, "and complete the second step. Please complete all steps in order. Please play the first video and begin." Then the student will touch the picture of the milk and a video will play. On the next slide, you'll see a demonstration of the video for the first step, half cup milk. During intervention, it's important for the teacher or the therapist to collect data on task performance. Take a look at the sample data collection sheet. This student is making a strawberry banana smoothie. Each step is listed on the left. Here you'll see the milk step, which is the first of 8 steps. The observer watches the student while they watch the milk video and complete the step. The teacher first determines if a prompt was needed to watch the video. If prompt was needed to begin, the watch video box is checked. If no prompt was needed, the watch video box remains unchecked and the teacher determines if the step was completed accurately. The teacher or therapist marks accurate if the student completes the step correctly. PE, process error, if the student used the wrong measurement or made a mistake. NRE, non-responsive error, if the student was non-responsive. Usually a good time frame for non-responsive could be about 6 to 8 seconds. If an error is made after the student watches the video once, the student is blocked from continuing and asked to re-watch the video. If an error is made again, the teacher breaks the video down into smaller segments. The teacher will then ask the student to complete smaller segments of the milk step. If the student continues to make an error, the teacher will review smaller segments one more time. Then if the student continues to commit another error, the step will be checked as incomplete and the teacher steps in to complete without the student observing the step. When using the Picture Scheduler app to teach skill acquisition, there are a few limitations. When making smoothies, it was most helpful to display the iPad on a sturdy iPad stand. For any tasks requiring gloves, the student would need to use a stylus instead of their finger to navigate the app. Although the text is large and videos are paired with audio prompts, those with visual impairments may have difficulties. When using the app, there may be occasional app glitches, like potentially the app suddenly closing. Thank you for taking the time to join me. I hope you can benefit from the information presented and use this time as an opportunity to think of new ways to utilize assistive technology. If you have any questions or comments, please see my email below, kerri.morse@lsforautism.com. Thank you.